Or good afternoon, whatever time it is here, wherever you are at. Want to make sure that that is recording here. All right. So the topic is.
Screen is dark.
Yes. Yes, it's fantastic. Okay, let me get into the topic before I forget what it is. Dennis Rodman, Jarrett, Polis, and that's our Governor Jarrett Polis. Okay, let me try to get focused. All right. Thank you all for the happy birthday wishes as I try to get focused here. So the topic, once again, Dennis Rodman, Jarrett Polis, who's our governor, and me. Why do we lie? What happened in our lives to cause that? Okay, well, and you can catch our shows on channel 56 Comcast, Denver Comcast 56, Wednesdays at 8 a.m. And the views of this television producer, who's the only blind TV producer in Colorado, are my views and my views alone. It has nothing to do with Comcast or Denver Media Center. There are my views and my views alone. So, and this is for entertainment reasons only, so don't take everything so seriously. All right? And you can also catch us on Intervision FM 24/7, 7 days a week, and on KUHS Denver every Sunday from 1 to 3. All right, so let's talk about Dennis Rodman. Now, I hear a lot of these interviews on Howard Stern and stuff like that. So, you know, as you know, Dennis Rodman was drinking a lot, doing a lot of things that were just outbidding his psyche, his personality, and so forth. And he tried to be a diplomat to go over and see North Korea and tell them, you know, hey, let's just be friends, let's be peaceful, and all that kind of stuff, right? So he tried to make friends with Kim Jong-un and all that kind of stuff. But it was the one story he was told about. He was with Carmen Electra, and because of his drinking habits, that he just didn't care. And we also found that he once dated Madonna, but Madonna was so wild, was even wilder than he was. So one day, and this is crazy. Okay, if you guys are gonna do this, it's not cool to bring the other woman to your house and in your room. So Carmen Electra had went out on a filming things, did some commercial, whatever. And so Dennis Rodman was there at the house, and this girl dropped in. And so she comes in, looking for Dennis, goes to the bedroom. There they are, right? And she says, "Who's that?" And Dennis Rodman says, "Who's who?" And she says, "That girl next to you." And he says, "I don't know how she got here. She must have came through the roof and dropped in, and I don't know how she got here." Now, of course, that's a big lie. Why didn't Dennis Rodman just say, "Hey, I know that we're together, but this girl called me up and whatever, and I decided to while you were out to get with this lady," right? So, but in that case, big lie. Very, very evident. I don't know Dennis Rodman, didn't know where it started out. All right, okay? Now, okay, I'm gonna tell you one story about me, and then I'm gonna jump over to Polis. My first lie that I can remember was my mother. She learned how to cook for hobos and what we call today homeless people. They would knock on the back of the door and say, "Ma'am, do you have anything we could eat?" And she said she would learn how to cook and fix things, and then give it to the. And my earphones just went out, so I want to make sure. Okay. So my earphones went out, so I can't use that anymore. Okay, so that's how she learned how to cook. Now, she would cook me oatmeal. I'm 5 years old. And she cooked me oatmeal, and I hate cow's milk in my oatmeal. I don't think we as humans should be drinking other species' milk. And at that time, I didn't know that. I just didn't like cow's milk. And I do not like lumpy oatmeal. So my mother says, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna eat that oatmeal, and you're not gonna leave the table until you eat all of that oatmeal. So I sat there, and I looked at it, and I played with it with my spoon. And there's one thing I noticed about my mother. When she gets on the phone, her eyes turn off. And that's why I'm glad they put in that law that says when you're driving, that you cannot be using the cell phone, because it's something about moving your mouth and seeing that you have to do either one or the other. You can't do both. And I know that when she got us on the phone, she gets so much into the conversation that nothing matters. And at the age of 5 years old, I knew that. So when she got on the phone, I said, now it's my chance. So I took the bowl of oatmeal, went to the sink where the trash can was, dumped that oatmeal in there, came back to my chair, sat down, and I waited for her to get off the phone. And then when she got off the phone, she says, "Oh, you finished your oatmeal. You can go now." And I said, "Thank you, Mom." And I left. Right? Now, that was a lie. And my mother, at that point, she knew that Johnny will tell me what I like to hear, right? And I didn't think as a child, a 5-year child, that my dad gets home at 5 o'clock. He's not going to he may take out the trash, but it's most likely she's going to take out the trash. So I didn't realize that all she had to do is go to the sink, look in the trash can, see her cow milk, lumpy oatmeal in the trash can, and figured, Johnny just lied to me and told me that he was being a good boy and that he ate the oatmeal. And instead of eating my awful, lumpy cow's milk oatmeal, he conveniently lied to me to get out of that situation. Now that's one for me, right? That's one. So your mother, your dad, your mother, they know you, they see things that you manipulate, that you get out of, and instead of her saying, okay, this would be a moment of truth, she wanted to force me to do something I didn't want to do, and she wouldn't take no for an answer. She wouldn't say, well, Mom, I couldn't tell her that you're a terrible cooker. I didn't even know how she learned how to cook, that she learned by feeding homeless people. And homeless people, I don't know if you know it or not, I've seen homeless people dig in trash cans and get food out of trash cans. Fortunately, knock on wood, I'll never dig in a trash can to get food. Knock on wood, I'll never be that poor. Okay, now let's get to Polis, our wonderful, fabulous, just simply wonderful governor. Okay. So I thought, well, he's a businessman, so at least, we'll have something like Donald Trump. We have a businessman. But I didn't think about there's people that are lucky in business and there's people that are not lucky in business. And I didn't know at the time I just said, okay, at least we got a businessman. I thought he would treat it like a business, a government. Even though he's a Democrat and Democrats have their wish lists of things that they love to tax you for. So when I found out that he had some oil, and he told the people If you voted to keep the fracking in Colorado, that's the people voted that we have that, I will go along with that. Well, that was his first lie, because he has an oil company that brings him money in Canada, but he said to the American people, or to at least Coloradans, I'm going to move the oil out of, I'm going to make it so, put so many regulations, we're going to get rid of oil fracking, because I don't want oil companies to make money here in Colorado, and I don't want the families that bought houses and everything like that, and bringing in more tax revenue. I don't care about those people. So he lied to us, said that he would respect our votes. He didn't respect our votes. He got rid of fracking in Colorado, and the next thing he's going to do to do something, he lied and he said, all right, if you're trying to get a petition on the November ballot, you can email it in and I'll let you get it in there. But then he took this one that is this due date too late, which they're concerned with not killing babies 9 months after they're born, or not killing babies after 22 weeks in the stomach, because we no longer believe the 1972 lie that Democrats told us that it's just a blob, it doesn't feel anything. And now that we have ultrasound, we know that it's not just a blob. So he lied to the petitioners, and based on his party, he made sure that he would block the Right to Life people from getting this ballot on the November ballot. So we as Coloradans can make a decision: do we want to have babies come out of the womb, and then the doctor can put the scissors in the back of their head and kill it, and it's a legal kill. So once again, now I don't know anything about Polis when he was growing up, any of that stuff. So I don't know why he is a liar, or why Dennis Rodman is a liar. But I do know how Johnny started lying. So I want to take it to statewide, national, then bring it back down to me. So we'll go to the second one, and me and my mother, she had a job. She had boys to raise, so she had to do it with an iron fist, more or less, because if you have boys, you can't be weak. And my dad, he was doing this thing, going to work and bringing in the money, and he was more like, for some reason I was his favorite. I'm not sure. I never did find out why I was his favorite, but he just didn't like that part about whipping somebody, whatever. But my mother seemed like she really enjoyed getting the extension cord, and you could hear it like going through the air, like almost like slavery days, right? like and so, but it looked like maybe maybe she didn't enjoy it, but I would be the one that always would joke with her, and I don't think she liked the fact that I would joke with her while she's whipping me with the extension cord. And sometimes she would line us up, we had did something, and we wouldn't confess that who did it. Like I had wasted some shoe polish in the laundry room, and we tried to get it up as much as we can. But once again, when we threw it away, we threw it in the trash can that was sitting at the doorway. So when she walked in, even though we might have cleaned it up good, she saw the broken glass in the trash can. We should have took the glass out, took it way out to the trash bin. But even at that age, and I think we were around like maybe 9, or I would think I was like either 9 or 10 at that time. Anyway, so she and my dad came back. They went out, and they came for some entertainment. They came out, and she saw it, and she asked us who did it. Well, we didn't want to snitch on each other. Unlike today, like people love to snitch, and back then snitches get stitches, but nowadays you can snitch and you can get away with snitching on your next door neighbors. Times have changed. So she said, well, then I'm going to whip all of you, because since you won't admit it. And so during my time, I usually like to dance around and play skip rope and try to have her miss me, duck and stuff like that. And I don't think she appreciated. She just wanted me to stand there and get the whipping. But I said, it's more better for me to jump around and move around and try to make you miss me. And it might have been more better than that, because, if I would have just stood there, it wouldn't have made it so bad. And I would see the shininess against her black skin. I would see the shininess of her teeth. Like she's gritting her teeth and saying, hoo-yah, hoo-yah, And so it didn't make her happy that I was joking with this. And then, of course, she would go upstairs, and then I would sit around with my little brother Freddie and my sister Verna, and then I would make fun of her walking upstairs. I would say, I would act like an elephant, and I would, just joke around and make them laugh, and that was my part. I was the comic relief of the family, and that was just my personality, right? And so, so me and my mother, she was kind of building to me, honesty, tell the truth, and kids will be kids and what they're doing. Oh, let me check in to see.
Battery. 20% battery remaining. Low battery. Low battery. 20% battery remaining. Close. Button. Close. Button. 20% battery remaining. Low battery.
Oh man. Okay, 20%.
Battery remaining. 20% battery remaining. Low battery. Low battery. 20% battery. Close. Button. 20% battery remaining. Close. Button.
Okay, let me close that.
To go live with. Button. Comment. Button. Finish.
Okay, let me go back up here. Rhonda Shear, thank you for watching. Keith Logan, thank you for watching. Ada Molay is watching. Soriano, thank you for watching. Oh, Napoleon. Oh man, okay. You don't know this story. Okay. Okay. And this is my birthday edition of the show. So I'll just tell you a little bit about why I know why I lie, but I don't know Dennis Rodman. I don't know Jarrett Polis, and why do they lie, right? Right now, Polis is lying about lying through the health department because they had our listing of deaths of the coronavirus virus. They had it at 1,991. And then when George Brockler, the district attorney, said, I'm going to investigate it, automatically it went from that number to 878 people who had died. Now, because of Jarrett Polis lied and using the commission of the health commission to carry out his lies, I said at this time it was a Jesus moment, because if you read in the book of John, when Jesus went to his Martha and Mary's brother Lazarus died, and Jesus went to the tomb and he says, Lazarus, come forth. Now I've heard preachers say, if Jesus hadn't said Lazarus, come forth, if he just said, come forth, there would have been a whole lot of people coming out of the grave, right? And so when Brockler came down, the district attorney, George Brockler, came down and said, come forth, well, the death count went from 1,901 down to 878. So why do they have to cook the books and lie about the death toll? Well, of course, it's money, right? The more death you have in your nursing home, whatever, the more money you get. What, 39,000 if you put them on a respirator, 13,000 if you just have coronavirus, 5,000 if you just have the regular flu. So you want more money for the bang. So you follow along with the lying politicians, and you lie, you cook the books. Okay, now let me tell you my last story about why Johnny lies on my birthday, right? If you can't be honest on your birthday, when can you be honest? Okay. Okay. So this next one, I think I was about 9 years old, and my mother, we had a Doberman pictures. We used to, and my mother would put a lock on the gate because these dogs are so smart. They would learn how to flip the lock up and then go, and then it'll be on us if the dog bit somebody or whatever. So she put locks on the gate, and she says, do not jump over the gate. Go into the back door, go out of the front door if you want to go to the front yard. So one day my dad, he had bought this red station wagon, and my mother was going somewhere in that red station wagon, and I think my dad, it was in the summertime and he was going to go to work or whatever. He was probably at work at this time. So she was using the station wagon because so anyway, so I went to the gate and I jumped, and I know the car was driving out. So I'm thinking, because I can't see her face because my vision was so bad at the time, but I could see the red car. And so I'm thinking, like, when you're driving, you're looking forward. But, in her case, she probably was watching me as I jumped over the gate. Now I heard her yell out the car, Johnny, I told you guys not to jump over the gate. And I said, I'm going to get out of this. And I did what many politicians do nowadays. I said, I didn't jump over the gate. And she says, I saw you jump over the gate. And when I get back, we're going to take care of this, right? And, like many politicians, somebody sees something and you say, it wasn't me. It was somebody else. It was a song about that by Shaggy. It wasn't me, right? I think that's, we probably had the same mother, right? So she gets back. And so I run downstairs. And so she comes down and she has her extension cord. And I can laugh about it because it's just funny in my mind when I think about this. Right? So we had this couch, and I went behind the couch, and so she pulls it out one way, and then I run back the other way, and then she pulls it back the other, and then I keep running back and forth. And she says, okay, you'll get away with it now, but I'll get you, right? And so she goes upstairs, boom, 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 and I'm thinking, I got out of it. She's gonna forget about this. Hey, I'm free. Daddy get home. That have a nice conversation, and I'm free. But my mom never forgot about anything. and so this is the third time. She's gonna get this pattern of lying out of me, and like I said, I tell lies today from time to time, still, for stupid reasons, whatever. But I can admit that I tell lies. I won't lie to you like Polis would lie to you that he doesn't lie. I wouldn't lie to you, and Dennis Rodman, he came clean, but Jarrett, Polis, Michael Hancock, they won't ever tell you that they lie, because they want you to believe they're perfect. Preachers won't tell you that they lie. I once working for Maryland Hickey phone bank, and I would have preacher wives call me and tell me what a hypocrite their husbands was, because they would act one way in front of the head pastor, and then there would be another way when they go home, and these women had no one to talk to, so they would call the prayer line to get prayer for their husbands who were these preachers that were lying. Okay, let's get you back to my mother's mother's thing. And once again, you're watching Intervision FM or Intervision TV on channel 56. Please subscribe to our channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button, share it. Would appreciate that. All right, and catch our 24-hour, 7 days a week channel, Intervision FM as well. So I went to bed that night. Said, man, I think I even missed dinner that night because I heard, oh man, if she doesn't see me, she's gonna forget about it, right? And I'm just sleeping, having one of my nicest dreams, and then all of a sudden, it was like a horror movie. The blankets come off, whoosh. And then I looked up, and it was like a motion picture. Like my vision said, and I see my mother with her teeth grit and the extension cord in the other hand. And then I heard the wind. And then my mother says, I got you now. And so that's why I think I never wanted to go to jail. I never liked being locked up. I never liked to be in situations where I have no control of my freedom. And as my mother was something else, but she did the best she could to try to break me out of being a liar. So I want to see who else here before I close this show. Sharon Walls, thank you for watching. Lloyd Emery, oh, I know you, my man. Greg Baca, Wanda Shia, Keith Logan, Ada Sorano is watching. The boy is still watching. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so you guys don't think I'm being biased, I'm telling you, that I'm human. I lie. Polis is human. He lies, but it seems like his lies, just like Governor Cuomo, when he lied about it wasn't his fault that he killed 45,000. Was it 4,500 people in the nursing home by putting them back in the nursing home where coronavirus, that it wasn't his fault. Hopefully my lies won't cause the death of a lot of people. And his exhibition, they're old, they're gonna die. Well, I've had a mother in the nursing home, and I don't think I would have been that cavalier. But I guess if you don't have no skin in the game, if somebody dies, they die, whatever. So these are the politicians that we really should have to hold them at a higher standard, even though they think that we are levelly giving them our taxpayer money. They work for us, and these politicians don't understand it. Basketball players, they will cheat on their wives, and things will happen, like Dennis Rodman and stuff like that, and lie, and the woman has to decide, am I going to stay with him, or am I going to jump out of this relationship and get with someone else who could be honest. And in children's case, hopefully as parents we do teach them at a young age, lying is not good to do. Your name and how people think of you is a quality that we should all develop in our kids, and then hopefully when they become adults and become a Jarrett Polis, they won't lie when they become adults, and they won't lie like Michael Hancock either as adults. So anyway, God bless. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends, and you can call our voice line and leave your voice there as well. All right. So let's close this out. God bless. See you the next time.